And now we're live with episode 18 of the Fresh Towels Podcast, live here on tape in New York City. It's June, and we're full cranking now into summer. The boys are here, me, Big Mike, in the studio, in our softball stuff. That's because for me, is this your first game too?
Second game.
Second game. For me, it's my first game of the softball season, which I think started in April. So I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in mid-season.
Well, I think there's only been like 3 games because that's why we have a doubleheader today.
A lot of rain.
Rainouts.
A lot of rainouts. I've been calling in the rain so I don't miss as many games. I'm very excited to get back out there. Big decision of today was, do I wear shorts or do I wear baseball pants? And after having a few desserts this weekend, I went with shorts. These baseball pants are unforgiving. Plus, baseball pants don't go by traditional sizing metrics. It's either like small, medium, or large, or XL, but there's no middle ground. So I'm a medium-ish. But if I have a long weekend of eating treats, it's really more like a large, but the large are too long in the leg, and then you got a little tight situation in the belt. And then it feels like a suction on your belly button.
I think you got to go to the doctor, man.
Why?
Having a couple cannolis, you shouldn't be retaining that much water.
Probably
changing pant sizes over a couple of sweets. That's
every
a bigger issue.
72 hours, maybe there is an issue.
You might be diabetic.
Internal issues. Not good. So I'm going to go shorts for this weekend. My college baseball team on the other side of the spectrum is in the College World Series. If you're listening to this, it might come out today. I think they're in the World Series playing tonight. And you can watch it. You can stream Rollins College Baseball online only. But if you're interested, watch the game. Rollins College Baseball, Division II College World Series. Very proud of them. I've been calling people, calling my friends who I used to play with. We never made it that far. But proud of my team. Cool to see. Same coach that I had.
When did this result come out? Because the internet does not want to tell me.
Of the
not many people are following the World College Series.
The World College Series.
Yeah, whatever.
If you Google NCAA Division II baseball, it should bring up the bracket. So today at 6 p.m. we're playing. They're playing Millersville or something. I don't know.
Let's find out.
But it's pretty cool to see.
When you played Little League, I've seen this thing online where a lot of people are, all these like weird little divisions of Little League. It's like every tournament it's called a World Series. And they play like 4 teams, and the winner of that round robin gets like a ring. Yeah, it's getting a little crazy, right?
Little League is very intense. There is a nether realm for youth baseball between Little League and college, which kids usually get. That's where they stop playing. But after Little League, in Massachusetts, they called it Babe Ruth.
Right.
Which was the same size field that the pros play on, but you're like 13. So that was tough. I remember, that's the first time that you're pitching from the regular size mound, that you're running the regular size bases, but you're still like a kid, so it feels massive. And you go from this little field, literally, to the regular size field, and it doesn't feel ready. They don't do this in basketball, but it'd be like playing on a mini hoop your whole life, and you're like dunking and doing 360s, and then they put you on a regular hoop.
Yeah.
And
you're still jumping for the rim.
Yeah, you're still trying to do a 360 dunk, and you can't pull it off.
So the reason I ask about the Little League World Series stuff is because you called it, they're in the World Series. And anybody that would hear that would think, oh, they're the champs versus the champs going at for the championship.
It's a tournament.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's a baseball. I think they changed the terminology of it maybe even recently.
NCAA Division II Baseball Championship.
Baseball championships.
So I thought World Series meant they were there, but they have won 1 game in this round robin tournament.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's definitely not a bracket that's easy to understand. If you're looking at the D2 College Baseball Championship bracket, I can't even figure it out. Like you play the first game. If you win, you go to a winner's bracket. If you lose, you go to a loser's bracket, but you don't it's not instant elimination. So you have like 2 different brackets going off at the same time.
Yeah.
There's 8 total teams, I think, in a round robin style tournament, and then it will get to a final game, the actual championship game, which is a best of 3 series.
Do you wanna play a quick game of where are these colleges located? Because none of them are obvious.
They might
it's
not be
like
obvious.
University of Georgia. It's
give me one.
Division II, buddy.
Give me one.
Okay, how about Saint San Badino?
California.
Okay, that's easy.
I knew that one.
How about Ulindi?
Yulindi.
Oh wait, no, that's never mind. That's
The University of Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's Indy. But it was one word.
I think this is on you, Mike. I don't think that these are real issues. Give me another one.
Augustana.
Yeah. Georgia.
Nice try, buddy.
Where's that from?
South Dakota.
All right, you got one on me.
And okay, here's a good one. Angelo State.
Angelo State, California.
I mean,
is it?
I'm not that quick.
Oh, I think
Angelo State University.
Where?
It
Texas.
doesn't even say, for God's sakes. It does. Oh yeah, Texas, West Texas.
Okay, and I know that because we played San Angelo. We just did a show in San Angelo last night. I'm sure that's the same school, same place. Angelo State. It's got to be.
Yeah, Angelo State. It's just not. It's very Division. It seeds Division II.
Yes, and even the NCAA puts like a little less effort into the D2 baseball championship. They misspelled Rollins, and they put us in under Rollin.
I love that.
No S, like we're just rolling into town.
So Rollins has to win 4 games to win this championship. The
and
fourth
I think we
game
could do
is
it.
the champion.
I think we could do it. Well, no, because that's a round robin at the end. Not round robin, a best of 3. I think. I don't think you can just win and be out.
Right. But I'm saying to get to the championship, they gotta win 3 more games, and then the 4th game is the beginning of the championship.
Okay, so I think they can do it. Their jerseys are pretty lit. I want to get a jersey, a Rollins baseball jersey with Jiggy on the back. I called in a few favors, see if I can get that made. Proud alumnus here.
Is this the white or the yellow you want?
The yellow.
Nice.
I think the yellow looks sick. It's like a retro, kind of like baby V-neck.
Yeah. Blue stripe collar, blue and white stripe collar. It's a pretty sick logo, I'm not going to lie.
It looks really sick.
Yeah.
Name on the back.
I like the hat.
The hats are cool, but that wasn't the style hat. This logo and hat wasn't the one that I played under, so it looks weird to me. I don't like the hats. Rollins had the same logo for 50 years, and then they changed it the year I graduated. Yeah. And I always thought it looked weird and boxy. I think the actual uniform logo looks cool, but I think the hats look weird to me. I like the old school ones. Like if you look at Rollins College 2004, that's when they went to the World Series, and those I thought were cooler. We used to have the same logo with Rice University, and that's maybe why they changed it. So it was like the Rice University R, or that might be an easier Google.
Oh yeah, white with the blue R.
Yeah.
I
thought that
I like the
cooler.
new one better.
Really?
The R is massive. It's very prominent, which
it is
I
very
really
prominent.
Like.
But to me,
it's
it looks
like I
boxy.
like how they 3D'd the professional helmets, like MLB helmets. Now instead of like a flat, it's like a matte finish, 3D.
Oh right, on the
logo on the helmet.
Yeah, that looks kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that. It's a much thicker, bigger kind of vibe. I dig it.
Well, I will be watching from home tonight. Rollins Baseball NCAA Division II Baseball Championships. If you want to watch, check it out online. It's going to be hard to find. And we're playing Miller State or something.
Miller State. Did you say where they were from?
I actually don't know if it's Miller State. I made that up. It starts with an M. Morrisville's. I can't remember. I forget the name of the team. I've never heard of it. We never played them.
It's Millersville.
Millersville, which sounds very Midwest. If I were to guess, I would say that's Ohio.
You're not far off.
Kentucky.
Pennsylvania.
Okay, that's pretty close.
Yeah. Not the Midwest, but it's close Ohio.
Close enough.
And Ohio's
Millersville sounds like a Pennsylvania place.
Yeah.
We got back off the road. We did 2 shows in Texas, 1 show in Colorado, and we did a city called I'm going to mispronounce it because everyone was telling me I did mispronounce it there. Pueblo?
Colorado?
Pueblo, Colorado.
Mm-hmm. I think you nailed it.
Pueblo.
That sounded great.
That sounded okay?
Pueblo.
So played, God damn it. played Pueblo. I keep on wanting to say Texas because it feels like Texas. They grow chilies there.
Oh.
It's a Colorado city, but it doesn't feel like Colorado at all. It feels like Texas. They're known for growing their own breed of green chilies.
Okay.
So there is a lot of they use it in a lot of Mexican food in Pueblo. They're known for some pretty unique dishes. We went to a couple of unique dining experiences when I was there. One interesting, fun little tidbit for Pueblo is during Prohibition, the Coors Brewing Company started popping open restaurants when they couldn't serve booze. And one of the last remaining of those restaurants is in Pueblo, and it's called the Coors Tavern. And we went there, and it was really, really cool. It opened in, I believe, the 20s or 30s. And the dish that they're known for in Pueblo is called a slopper, which nothing sounds more appetizing than that. I remember when we rolled into town, I usually try to find out what's going on. I'll Google something. I'll ask the front desk. I like to eat my way through a new city or new town, especially if I've never been. And I went to the front desk and I was like, what do I need to have when I'm here? And she goes, you got to try the slopper. I'm going to need a little more explanation than that. A slopper, if you've never had one, which I'm sure you haven't, is an open-faced cheeseburger. So picture bun cheeseburger on one side. On the other side, bun cheeseburger. So, and it's in a little bowl. So we get that. Then they put hot chili sauce on top of those. So they grow their own chilies, grind it up, make this green chili sauce, put that over the top of it, then French fries and onions and any other accoutrements that you want.
It kind of looks like they were like, oh, you want to do, what's the grade? Poutine? It's Canada? We'll do, but we're going to American it. We're going to put a burger underneath it too.
Yes. It kind of has poutine vibes about it. It
looks
Mexican.
Disgusting.
It looks disgusting.
It's probably amazing, right?
It was delicious.
Of
yeah.
course,
I mean,
yeah.
if you've had one or two drinks and you get a slopper put in front of you, it's hitting on all cylinders. It's delicious, but it does not photograph well. No. I tried to even take a picture and I couldn't. It wasn't even camera roll ready. I took a picture of it. It literally looked like a mistake.
It does. You know what it looks like? Looks like a slopper.
It looks like a slopper.
I mean, I pictured in my mind what could a slopper be, and first thing I thought was, do they serve it only in the bathroom? And I'm kind of right.
Not good. I don't know. The name kind of grew on me. But we went to the Coors Tavern for my slopper, but apparently there's people get slopped out different places in Pueblo. You can go to, it's not just a Coors Tavern that you can get a slopper. You can go to all these other places, and they know, people all had their own slopping input on where I should have gone. People go, oh, you went to Coors Tavern for a slopper? Their beef patties are too small. Or some of the chili sauces are spicier than others. I was expecting a green sauce, like an enchilada sauce. That's what I was visualizing when I heard that. It was more like a gravy. It wasn't spicy.
Yeah, it just looks kind of like just brown gravy.
It's made with chilies, but it's not like a chili sauce in the way that I expected it to be. I thought it was gonna be like enchilada, like a salsa type of thing, which would have been great. But it was more like closer to a gravy, like a Mexican gravy.
Yeah.
It didn't have cilantro in it or whatever. I don't know how they made it. So I got half with the green chili and half with a mole on top of it.
I like that.
That slowed me down for the afternoon for sure. I did that and I was like, yeah, I guess we'll do sound check. Sound check took 3 hours. I was like,
It took 15 minutes, but it felt like half a day. I don't understand why you keep getting these sound checks that take so long. It's a microphone. What are these people doing? You'd be
shocked, man. You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. Well, that's the thing with when doing a production of even a simple comedy show at a theater. it's like Groundhog's Day in the sense of like you're starting scratch every single day. You know, when you're doing a comedy tour in a comedy club, like they're set up to do stand up comedy every night of the week, and you can come in and you can tweak it, I guess, or if you had sound cues, I guess, if that's part of your act. But you're set up, the lights and sound are set up for you to go and do it. But like every single theater that you do, it's like they had the ballet there the night before, so the lights are all wrong, and like so every night is like starting from scratch. And depending on what they had in there the night before, it could take an hour and a half to do sound check, or it could take 10 minutes. And also not every production crew is created equal, so sometimes it takes longer than I'd like.
I have a horror story for when I was living in Orlando doing trade shows, and it's all union, and there's like no requirements to be in the union. You just have to have I think they do the mirror test to join. You know the mirror test?
You blink and you're in?
No, they put a mirror under your nose, and if you see condensation, you're hired. And they one time I was installing this massive trade show exhibit that had huge graphics, and they sent me the union graphics person to help me hang because you're not allowed to touch it. You have to use union people. And they showed up wearing mittens.
Mittens?
Mittens. And
like winter mittens?
Like winter mittens. And
like with all the paws? Like,
no, they were fingered.
Fingered.
But it was still a mitten. It was a wool.
I think those are gloves.
Sure.
A mitten has all the fingers together.
She might as well have had all of her fingers chopped off. Because she showed up and she goes, "Oh, I don't do graphics." I go, "Well, yeah, you do. Because that's what I hired and spent an insane amount of money per hour for."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, I'm not a graphics person. I don't touch graphics." And then I was like, "Well, then." I called the union people. They're like, "Yeah, that's the graphics person." They just sent a random person off the street, and they screwed it up. They were like razor blading all. It was insane. It was pure madness.
I've had a couple of folks where I questioned everything in my life.
Yeah.
I rolled into I forgot the city now, but I rolled into a city to do sound check. And again, this is stand-up sound check. This is one microphone.
Yeah. No wonder people travel with all their own stuff.
I can see why.
Bands and everything.
Like you have a typical stand-up show, which is basically what we have, is you got to have a sound cue or an intro song, which is a sound cue for them. You got to check the mic. You might have another comic, another sound cue, and then an outro, another sound cue for a song. It's like literally the easiest show to do production-wise. And I rolled into do this theater, and the woman who was doing audio, the first words out of her mouth, she goes, "Well, I fucked up shows bigger than this." And I was like, great. Well, sound check's in 10 minutes. And sure enough, she fucked it up.
Fucked up the sound check and the live show?
Oh, she fucked everything up. Like, I literally dumbed down the show that you would have to try to screw it up. Like, it says Jiggy intro and a button. You click that, my song plays. Joe intro, button. Joe outro. She did Joe outro for Joe's intro, played it once, stopped it. The crowd's mulling. Like, what was that? Played the outro again, stopped it. Now the crowd's like laughing. And then I'm just screaming. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? It says Joe intro on it. That's the whole show. Like, you have 3 buttons to hit.
Maybe change them to Q1, Q2, Q3.
No, she'd probably be like, when does Q come out?
That's funny. It's spelled C-U-E. Yeah, ain't that the 4th Joker?
Yeah, I've been waiting for him.
Where's the Murr button?
I see Q's button. Where's Joe's?
At what point do you guys decide to bring your own stuff?
It's it's not cost effective.
You'd rather, yeah. I mean, at certain points,
because it's still like an anomaly where it happens infrequently enough where it would not be cost effective to travel with your own sound team.
Right.
Every single band travels with their own sound techs. Every single band most of them travel with their own light techs to avoid issues like this, because there's no way that you'd be able to roll in and educate a full show in an afternoon. So they roll with their own sound and production. It's still an anomaly. Like, we're still batting like 925,
Of
like,
what?
Out of 1,000. So like 9, yeah. So like 9.2 shows, 9.25 shows out of 10 are fine. But then you still have like the 0.75 where I roll up and I'm just like, this could be their first show of all time.
You're like, do you guys have a stage? Oh, we're going to build it.
Yeah.
Like, this is a theater. you guys order a stage? It's a theater.
Someone said, what did someone say to me recently that just like it was like shocking? The sound cue for the intro plays and obviously gets turned off
Right.
when there's a cue to turn it off. And the audio tech was like, do you want the music to keep playing during the show in the monitors?
Yeah.
So basically, the crowd would hear nothing, but we would just keep blasting like Blink-182 in the monitors for us. And I'm like, yeah, no. What do you think I need a soundtrack to be able to do this?
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to stop you right there, sir. Ask yourself that question.
Yeah, what would I do with the music blasting in my monitors while I'm trying to do the show?
Could you make it so loud that I can't hear my own thoughts? Is that an option?
My gosh. It's pretty incredible, but that's part of the.
I had a guy once for my comedy festival to do a lighting in this big outdoor stage we built, this massive tent. He couldn't start until like 2:30 in the morning the day before. Built this entire thing. It looked gorgeous, and then he started to disassemble it. I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, I'm not leaving it here overnight." I go, "What did you?"
He built the stage and then wanted to
all the lighting and sound, all these lights, climbing up ladders, this whole thing, building this from scratch. And then he took it down after like 4 hours. Like the sun was coming up. He's like, all right, I'll be back tomorrow to reset it up. I was like, we have a cop. We have security. Things are fine. He goes, no, I can't risk it.
What?
And then he took it all down and then was late. And so we were like holding the doors of people when he showed up to start redoing it. So he put 2 lights up. It was nothing. It was insane.
Sometimes you have, I've seen this before too, which is when I'm like out of the loop of the audio visual in the sense of like it's not in-house audio visual. So you have sound and light who are brought in, who are like a third party. Then you have the house team who has to work with that team, and then me.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of times over the last few years where I'm just watching this third party team scream at the in-house team. And they can't figure it out. And I am the least qualified person to figure it out. It's like all the in-house wiring and hooking into the house sound, and they're yelling at each other, and the doors are supposed to open in 5 minutes. That's all the behind-the-scenes stuff that, when you come into a beautiful theater and the light is set on the mic and it looks great and the music's playing, it could be 11 minutes before that. The people are just running around like crazy trying to figure all of that out. When I used to go to shows, I would just think this is just the way it's set up. You just hit a button and then the act shows up and is ready.
It should
just
be.
It's not that.
I've had it before in a big theater where we spent probably $4,000 on sound and lighting person, and to the point where they didn't understand play, stop for 3 comics, and so to the point where I had to stand in the booth with them, and I would tap them on the shoulder to do the next cue. I'd be like, and now, because that guy made $3,000 to stand there and just. I literally was a conduit. He was just a conduit between me and the button. I had to tap him on the shoulder, and then he tapped the button. It was unfucking real.
Yeah.
I'm starting to have a panic attack thinking about it.
I know. I try not to think about production stuff. It gives me the most anxiety.
Well, I'm glad we spent 23 minutes talking about it. Welcome to the podcast.
I know. Yeah, that's the life. But going down, I'm going to see Bruno Mars tomorrow night. I'm very excited.
Here in town?
In Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. You're on the road early this week.
Yeah. So Bruno Mars is on my top 5 list of people I've wanted to see live with. Also on my top 5 list would be Janet Jackson, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That would be a good one.
Earth, Wind, and Fire would be great. I'm trying to think who else would be on there. I would go to T Swift now.
Okay.
After hearing all the reviews.
I'd go.
I heard it was amazing.
I want to be in the celebrity box. Not because I'm a celebrity, but because I don't like being around people at concerts.
Yeah, I don't know. I see those celebrity tents at the T Swift concerts, and it feels like they can't see much. It feels like they're not like elevated off the ground enough. Like I'd want to be in like one of the nice boxes at these stadiums. Like the owner's box, that would be the best place to watch it because you're mid-tier.
Yeah, club level would be the move for any of that.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you're on the ground, I think you're missing half the show.
Yeah, but I think if you're on the ground like that, you're there for the experience, not the show.
And you're probably rolling in late. I mean, maybe you don't care. I was thinking about that actively of how big her guest list must have been for the New York show.
It's unreal, right?
I mean, people can't be texting her, right? Be like, hey,
Could
can
you
you imagine?
imagine?
Yeah, there's like hundreds of people being like,
I didn't even want to ask Joe while he was sitting in front of me if I can get 2 comps for my family. I had to go through. I went through you because it's like I don't want to bother him.
T Swift's phone blowing up playing MetLife. And you're like, hey, remember when I did your hair? Me and 9 people want to come.
Let's see if she has a guest list.
It's got to be hundreds of people. Just the record label, and I mean, they got to have a guest list of hundreds of people, sponsors, and all sorts of stuff. I can't imagine how big her guest list is.
Well, it's not really saying who the guest list is, but there's a huge list of celebrities that have gone to her show, which is just mental. I'm sure they don't publish who.
But who would?
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers was there.
So let's use Aaron Rodgers then. Aaron Rodgers, worth $100 or $200 million, world famous quarterback, wants to go to the T Swift concert. Who is he texting?
His people. He's texting his manager probably or publicist and says,
then she reaches
hey, I want to go to
he.
Swift. Hook it up. And then the publicist runs and looks for their publicist who knows a publicist who knows, and then that's how they do it. Could be the same publicist. It's all just a publicist network. Publicists are just ticket getters.
Getting you in.
Seat fillers. You go to the restaurant, you want to go to the opening, you want to go to the fucking premiere. These are your publicists.
There's got to be a lot of stuff lost in translation in those emails. Yeah. I sometimes think, and I get trapped into a thread. I'm sure listeners out there do as well at work. When you're CC'd on something that you very loosely should be involved in. And in my mind, I'm like, this is going to go on forever.
Yeah.
This email chain is not going to stop. And that happens a lot for guest list type stuff, even the things that I get. It's like a chain of a chain of a chain, and then sometimes information gets lost along the way, you know?
It's tough too when like you ask somebody for something in an email chain or a text chain, and then they just ask you for more stuff. You're like, you haven't even addressed
the original thing.
The text. I'm texting you for this one thing, and you keep saying, "That happened to me today. I have to get paid for the commercial I did," and they're like, "You got to fill out this form." And I go, "It's asking me for stuff I don't have. Like, it wants a copy of my birth certificate to get $700." I go, "No one's ever asked. That's insane." I go, "I'm not doing that." And
they just want to make sure that you were actually born.
I was like, "You need proof that I'm a citizen? I'll give you my license and a social, like all the normal stuff." They're like, "What about a copy of your passport and your social security card?" I go, "No, you're not getting my information."
The birth certificate. The birth certificate is pretty funny.
Wild.
They need verification of your birth.
But then she finally goes, "Oh, I'll just remove that part of it. You don't need that." I go, "So you're telling me this whole time you just wanted my birth certificate?"
They keep it on file.
It's unnecessary? I was going to snap. She goes, "Well, no passport?" I go, "That's not even an option, and you ain't getting that either."
That was one of my favorite bits from Nate's new special. Did you see Nate's new special? It was so funny. The bit was how he has to keep on, every time he goes to the doctor's office, he has to fill out the same form.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on in this doctor's office after I leave? Is there just a fire every night? It's like the same one piece of paper. It's really funny, very relatable. Did you see the new Nate special?
I have not, no. I don't watch too much comedy, unfortunately.
I don't either, but we have my in-laws here in town, and Nate is one of the stand-ups that I feel comfortable playing with the in-laws. And I thought his new special was brilliant. I thought it was really good.
He's a funny guy. Isn't it crazy he lived in New York for a while and just kind of was like, I got to get out of here? Because nothing was clicking.
He was here and just working the club scene and
scrounging for spots.
Yeah. And like he was still, road dog doing road stuff. But my wife asked me yesterday and I couldn't answer it. And I don't know. She's like, what made him pop? And I was like, I honestly don't know. It wasn't a podcast.
No, he started his podcast after he got big. I think he's just one of those rare, like Reagan-esque type people where just stand up alone.
Stand up alone. It wasn't. It was definitely not an acting thing. It wasn't a podcast thing. It wasn't like he had this big viral moment.
No, I think it was just a gradual. He's like the last of a breed that can just get out there and do it on his own with nothing but comedy.
He did. I remember his first Netflix special, which I think was released pre-COVID, like 2018, 2019. And I think that resonated with a lot of people. And then he did a COVID special. And
you could probably mark that. That might be the moment, like Netflix. And then now he has a wide audience and people go, oh, this guy's funny and relatable.
Right.
and I can watch it with my whole family.
He's also one of the guys who Sebastian used to be in this bucket, where when they popped off, their social following to their wider following or ticket sales don't equate. Like Nate is selling tickets at a rate that he should have, like, you'd think he have 9 million followers on social,
Right.
and he doesn't. He has like, I don't know what it is, but hundreds of thousands of followers. It's not an absurd number. Like there are food bloggers who like eat pizza slices who have more followers than he does, but he still sells out like arenas now.
He's got 714K. That's
It's
surprising.
pretty low
Considering the number of
it's low relative
arenas he does.
Relative to the amount of tickets he sells.
Right.
Pretty low. But he also is a more multi-generational comic, which I think Sebastian fell into that bucket too, where you might have like grandparents who love his comedy, but they're not gonna like tweet him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we watched his special last night. I thought it was great. And it was filmed in Phoenix. That theater that they filmed it at in Phoenix is like one of my favorite places I've ever been to watch a show or to perform. It's like in the round. It's really, really cool. It doesn't hold that many people. It's like 1,500 or 2,000 people. But it feels like a club show.
Yeah.
It's 1,500 people spread out 360, and the rows are only like, I don't know, call it like 15 rows deep all the way around. So it feels like you're playing a comedy club, but there's 1,500 people there. And the energy is like so close to the stage.
Yeah.
All around. It's a little tricky playing in the round. It's not my favorite.
No. I've done it a few times. It's just exhausting almost. If you have any amount of energy, you're like, I did like 15 minutes in the round, and I was just like, I don't know, my thighs are hurting.
I think the issue with playing in the round is that you can have like 5% of your brain which can't focus on the show, and that's what happens to me.
Because you're trying not to fall off the stage.
Well, yeah, like there's like this subconscious part of you that's always active that like, this whole side of me didn't see that setup, or like I can't deliver this act out in any way that everyone can see it. You got your back to someone always.
Yeah.
So you have a little part of you that's kind of conscious of that. The only critique I had of the special had nothing to do with Nate. I just thought it was lit pretty poorly.
Interesting. There's a couple of specials that have been coming out that feels like they were rushed a little bit.
I think because it's in the round, like whoever the spot operator was on Nate's special, like he fell out of the light a couple times. I'm like, how could he fall out of the light in a comedy special?
It feels weird. Like it should be more than one taping too, where they could get it. Let me see.
Yeah, there's a couple of moments in the special that it just seems like he's like the
Greatest American, right?
No, I think Hello World. He falls out of the spot a little bit, and some angles come in and out of focus a little bit too. Unless that was the way that it loaded on for me, but I was like, how could they have focus issues on a sizable budget comedy special?
Oh, it was an Amazon special.
Yeah, I think he self-produced this one, which surprised me because I thought that he was like pretty in deep with Netflix, but maybe they were just like, yeah, we have enough stuff from you, and then he was like, well, I want to put this out anyway.
Probably could make more money.
I don't know about
doing
that.
It on his own, or
you think so?
Maybe.
I don't think he's selling it. It was Amazon Prime.
Well, interesting.
I don't know.
Pay-per-view, huh? Well, when you got that kind of money and notoriety, it's like, give it a shot. See how much money you can make.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. Plus,
it's free with Prime.
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
He's on a pretty gung-ho cadence, which you don't see that much. Like, he's put on a lot of stuff in the last few years. He's put out how many specials? 3 or 4 specials in the last few years?
3? So this will be the third one in like maybe 4 years?
It's a lot. Yeah. He definitely had one in a 2020 like drive-in one. It wasn't drive-in, but socially distanced special.
Yeah.
No, it was Netflix.
Really?
It was a social distanced special outside.
I'm not seeing it.
Super funny though. He's if you look at like, I mean, he's very like, he's super clean, family friendly,
Yeah, he's very much a for everybody type of guy.
Yeah, which is
very
cool.
Joker-esque, like the whole family can watch.
His same management.
Oh, nice.
Agent, I mean. And then
Greatest American was outside.
Yeah.
Greatest Average American.
Did you see The Machine? So Bert Kreischer and Sebastian Maniscalco both put out movies last week.
So funny.
For Memorial Day weekend. They both tanked.
Did they?
Both tanked.
Really?
Yeah. Bad.
What makes you say that? Are you talking about numbers or you saw them?
Financially tanked. So both of the movies cost about like 20 or 30 million on paper, which probably cost more with advertising and the whole thing. And Sebastian's movie made just over 4 million and Bert's movie made 5. But that's on 2,000 screens. I mean, that's pretty poor.
That's pretty good for 2,000 screens.
No, that's poor.
No?
Yeah.
I don't know shit about shit. Well, also, you're going against Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and The Little Mermaid.
That week that it came out, it was Guardians of the Galaxy, Little Mermaid, and those movies.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
I wonder why they went Memorial Day weekend with these, like, comedy movies that could have been released anytime. Why would go with a big holiday weekend? I kind of feel bad about it. You know why I feel bad about it? Because it doesn't bode well for other comedians who want to do projects like that.
Well, they're both at almost 9 million.
Yeah, but they're still losing a lot of money. They won't recoup.
Well, it's the same now. It's the same thing with streaming. So they'll go to streaming, get a big buyout, big numbers. And
they
fine.
might come back to even, but I don't think a studio is going to be racing to get other stand-up comedians to tell their stories.
Yeah, you might be right.
If there's anything that we've learned is like Hollywood will take something, and if it works, they'll do it 100 times, and if it doesn't, you'll never see it again. But I don't know. I was very different types of movies. So, Bert's The Machine and what is it? Songs of My Father. Maybe it should have been that. Maybe it should have been a musical.
It's just about my father.
About my father. It should have been called Songs of My Father. If it was a musical starring Robert De Niro and Sebastian, that would have been maybe better.
Yeah, with De Niro too, you'd think that. But you know what? Like again, you're going up and you're. I think the demo for that is not a go to the theater.
I think
crowd.
they have two different demos for sure.
No, I mean both of them. Like they're not a. I'm going to go to the theater to watch this comedian. I have tons of content from them online already. That's all they do is put out content, and I don't need to go to the theater. I'll wait till it comes out.
You're going to get the mega fans. You get the mega fans of each,
and then that's that.
And then maybe that's that.
But I will go see Spider-Man at the theater because that's
Spider-Man,
a theater experience.
It's a theater experience.
Maybe
I think they should have been both released on streaming. Don't you think that would have been better?
But they will. They're going to get the box office money, and then they'll go to streaming, and then they'll do licensing, and they'll make their money back.
I don't think they're hurting personally. I don't think they're personally going to be affected. But when you look at other comedians trying to do stories like that, it's maybe going to be a little tougher based on the result.
No, you're right.
Because I could see a guy like Theo Von getting a movie based on his life and everything else, and him playing himself.
We'll see, man. But look at this. They did 8 million and well, that's not true. They did 2 million and Guardians did 10 million.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh
I mean
God.
that and in the same week.
But Guardians must have cost 150 million to make.
Guardians has grossed 322 million. But in that week,
got it.
They're not that far off from one another.
Okay. So Guardians made its money back.
Yeah.
Big movie. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't been to the theater in a while. I was thinking about that. For me, it's tough to get me to go out to the theater for like a romantic comedy. I think that's what streaming has done. It's made it like I don't need to go to the theater to see, gosh, maybe a comedy movie or a romantic comedy. Even like you look at these like long dramas, I'm like, do I really want to sit in a theater for that? The movie theater has now become like, is it Maverick? Is it Top Gun? Do I need a theatrical experience?
That's what I'm saying.
Do I want to hear the sound in that room? Do I want to see the action on that screen? And if it's not that, like I can have a better date night with my wife at home watching a romantic comedy than I can at the movie theater. Plus, it's like so expensive now relative to what it is.
I think that the theaters need to integrate the home experience a little bit into the theaters if they want to have it done. For instance, give me a minute, give me a intermission so I can go take a piss and not miss anything. I do it at home. My body's accustomed to it.
Could you imagine if everyone in the theater had a remote and could just pause it?
That'd be so funny.
You have 55 people in there, and they're like, "Yeah, just hold on one second. You guys can keep going."
Don't give the old people the remote. They're going to rewind every 2 seconds. What'd they say? That's all you're going to have. Can we put the captions on? No.
My wife always says, "Joe, just keep playing it." When she has to go, she goes, gets a treat or goes to the bathroom. Keep playing it. And I'm like, well, you're going to come back, and you're not going to know anything that's happening. Yeah. And then I'm going to have to fill in when you get back, miss stuff, and then we're both going to be off.
Or I'm going to pause it when you get back to explain it. I'm just going to pause it.
I'm just going to I always pause. I want to be watching the same thing at the same time. She doesn't want, she looks at whatever we're watching as that amount of time, and it should be no longer than that. So if a pause happens, it's extended that amount of time. Now our bedtime gets pushed back or whatever. So she says, don't pause, let it go. And then she'll rather be lost. She did that last night when we were watching the comedy special. I'm like, you can't start this. You're not gonna get anything.
Yeah.
You can't come in mid-joke.
No, that's a tough one, a comedy special.
Comedy special, you got to watch straight through. You got to focus on it.
My girlfriend will do the thing where she'll stop me from watching something because she's got to watch her reality show that comes on and she can't miss it. So
live, like a Bravo, like she wants to watch it live.
So I got to turn the thing off and I'm in the middle of, because I'm a good guy. And then as soon as it comes on, she's on her phone scrolling through other shit. I'm like, if you're not watching this show, you can't do both. You can't come in here and tell me to stop watching my shit and then go on your phone while it's playing. I am paying it. No, you're not. You're on your phone. You're on Instagram. You're on TikTok. You're done.
I would do
You pull your phone out again, I'm changing the channel.
Bravo, like a Bravo reality show, which my wife is obviously into all of them.
I'm into a few.
Kardashian, the whole thing. Below deck, above deck, all the decks.
Mid-deck.
Mid-deck, mid-tier.
Poop deck.
Anytime there's someone selling real estate, they're on the ocean, they got workers, they got drama, she'll watch it. I would let her watch those shows if I could do a picture-in-picture of the game that's on. I don't need a full screen of the game. I could do a picture-in-picture and let her watch that.
Yeah.
If I had the game on a bottom fourth or a bottom eighth of the screen and I could just see what's happening, it could really bring us together.
I wonder if there's a way you could do, you know how they have the screen protectors where people from the side of you can't see?
Yeah.
What if you could get 2 TVs side by side and then like where she's sitting and you're sitting, you can have it focused. And so you can watch your game, she can watch hers, and they the two meet.
It sounds like you just need a bigger house at that point.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, why don't you just go make money,
you just
dickhead?
Need a man cave.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, she tried to tell me that, what'd she say yesterday that made me feel like, I think we have financial dysmorphia. It was something like, well, we can't even afford a 3-bedroom here in Manhattan, and you want to have breakfast?
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's a big spread. Like a 3-bedroom place here is like $2.5 million. I think I can get an egg sandwich.
Oh, you bought a $60 bottle of whiskey, did you?
Oh, wow. What do you know? Look at you, king of the castle, having 2 eggs for breakfast, and we can't even have a wraparound porch.
Oh, look at you. You having a bagel for breakfast. You went out and bought a bagel. Meanwhile, we're trying to have kids. What?
Yeah, it was something like totally absurd. Yeah. Because I think she's under the mindset of any dollar spent goes away from a dollar that could be saved to have this theoretical Manhattan mansion, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that, and I have talked to my girlfriend about this, is that if some like old rich woman like that wants some sort of sugar daddy or sugar baby, and then I get their apartment, she's like, yeah, I'll loan you out for that. I think we're on the same page. Like if some old lady was like, I just want a male companion, and you can have,
let's go.
I'll take it.
What's the square footage?
Yeah.
That would be right in my Craigslist ad.
It ain't gonna take money.
Listen, if you're talking about 4 figures in the square footage, let's go. You talking about 1,000 square foot in Manhattan? That's mega bucks.
That's insane.
1,000 square feet? Where 1,000 square feet in Tennessee, that's like someone's porch.
Yeah, 1,000 square feet in Tennessee is a sign of poverty.
It actually probably is. I think most homes are 1,500 to 2,000 square feet in most of the country.
It's weird that you said 1,000 without an S on the end. Did you
1,000 square feet?
Did you mean thousands? How many thousands was it?
1,000. 1,000.
Huh. Do you have a GoFundMe, or how do you survive?
My sister-in-law in Texas, her house is 5,000 square feet.
Mental.
They
Pay
could
$42 a month in mortgage.
Yeah, 10 of like my entire life is in 1/10 of her home. My entire life is in 1/10.
It's crazy. Yeah,
She could have 10 me's.
my sister's basement is bigger by 3x
I would kill for a
to my
basement.
apartment.
I would kill for like a
I'd kill for a third closet.
closet
I just want
space
one
is
more
killer.
closet. Ugh. It would change everything because then we can get rid of our big closet that we had to build in there, and now we have all this extra room. I could move my desk, and I could have a place to lay down.
I think closet space in New York, it makes the things that you wear once or twice a year that you really like hard to keep around.
Yeah.
Like I have a few pieces of clothing that are like wedding or funeral
Mm-hmm.
in that category where I'm like, I can't take more of that stuff in.
Yeah, it's a burden at that point.
Even if I'm gifted like, oh, this is a really nice winter coat. I'm like, this is going to be taking up part of my bed because I have nowhere else to put this.
We got a storage unit for that stuff. We have summer and winter stuff we switch out because it's just too much. One of my winter coats is half the closet. It's incredible.
The only thing that saves us on closet space is that Rhea's clothes are so little. It's unbelievable. Like when I do laundry, it's you fold a pant, you do a half, you take the pant, fold it. That's a
Sandwich.
pant.
Yeah.
Then you take a t-shirt, you fold it, you got a stack of t-shirts, I got a stack of Vardigs, my underwear, you got a couple pants. That's everything. When she does laundry, there's 900 different varietals of clothes that literally I was like, did you fold your clothes? It looks like a bag of balls. Like it just like all these little balls of things. It's like a little tank top with a mesh. One sleeve is mesh, the other slide. And then how do you fold that? She just it's like looks like a little ball goes in there. She'll be like, I don't know if this is going to fit on the plane. I think it's going to be over the 50-pound limit. She's got enough clothes for like 3 months in there. It weighs 4 pounds.
Yeah, really.
She has like a dysmorphia of like how much her clothes weigh. She'll have a month worth of clothes for laundry. She puts it inside the washing machine. It's like this big because all the clothes are like silky.
They're tiny little nothing.
I don't know how they even make it.
My carry-on, one half of my carry-on, the part where you have to strap in, shoes. One pair of shoes. If I want to bring one extra pair of shoes, I have to forego a whole wardrobe worth of clothes.
You could take an entire vacation's worth of clothes, roll it into balls, and stick it inside of your shoes, and that would be plenty of room.
Absolutely.
Girls' clothes it's an unfoldable thing.
Yeah.
So she ends up hanging a lot of stuff, and then her closet looks like every woman's closet looks like it's a complete disaster because there's no uniformity. No. You look at my closet, and you're like, this guy's got his shit together. It's polos, long sleeves, button downs, jackets, bang, 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 all in a row, looking nice. And then you go into her closet, nothing is uniform. All the fabrics are different. The sleeves are different. The materials are weird. It looks like a disaster. And that's every woman I've ever met.
Yeah.
I've never seen a woman with like a neat, organized closet, but they all want a big one.
I have 2 drawers. I have the biggest clothes on her 2 drawers. She's got every other drawer piling out with stuff. Here's a hack. I saw this on TikTok. At the beginning of the year, New Year's Day, take all your clothes in the hangers, turn the back hangers backwards, and hook them in backwards. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then at the end of the year, whatever clothes still are backwards, you don't wear it.
You throw it away.
Or you donate it or whatever because you never took it out of the closet and then you put it back in the regular way.
Got it.
It's a really interesting thing that I would like to do.
I do a lot of donation. I do a lot of goodwilling.
I do a lot of, I'll be skinny enough for that soon. I have a lot of future skinny clothes.
Future skinny clothes is a thing.
Yeah. And it's they always get donated if you catch my drift.
It's always the belly button area for me. I'm like, I'm popping out of this belly button area. If only I could suck out an inch and a half out of my belly button area.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
All right. Well, we covered a lot of ground. I think
it was a big day.
It was a big day. Wish us luck. Me and Big Mike doubleheader today.
Big
softball.
DH, huh?
If you're out there and you're a baseball fan, check out my Rollins College Tars playing tonight in the NCAA Division II baseball championships streaming live on ncaa.com. Check it out. Tell them Jiggy sent you. No one will ask.
Use promo code Jiggy for absolutely nothing.
You will get absolutely nothing out of it. And that's it. We'll see you next week. Until next time, mahalo and deuces.